All right, on to another podcast review. And again, Cody Schneider is such a gun. I've been binge watching his stuff. If anyone that needs ideas, marketing ideas, repurposing ideas, even just startup ideas, Cody is your guy. Just YouTube Cody Schneider and start watching his videos, which is what I've been binging over the last week, which has got me to really understand the whole idea of how marketing works. And it's totally okay to repeat myself. And for someone like myself who has struggled to find ideas constantly on a daily, you don't have to. If you think about how much content is being produced every day or in the past year, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just remix everything. You can even copy what I'm doing, reacting to podcasts. If you are someone that loves podcasts and want to turn it into content production, pretend you're in the podcast and you're reacting to what people are saying in the podcast. So in this one, he's talking about how to do short form and turn it into an agency and start making it a profitable side hustle. So let's have a listen.
Right? And they are basically using like the clip making as
1.5
an
speed.
example, where they reach out to podcasters and they're like, "Hey, I'll make you unlimited clips for all of your social channels about the podcast, and it's whatever 250 a month, 500 a month." And they go and they get whatever like 20 clients, right? And they've got a 10K a month business just doing that. And like Swell is powering it, right? They upload the episodes into Swell. They like we highlight the sections that we think are going to be the most viral for like clips. They go, they find the clips, they pull those out and hand them back to the client, and they get paid, right? And so I think that's like to me the most interesting thing is like how are other people basically like using the software to like make money for themselves, and just as like a it's I mean I imagine it's the same for you, right? Where it's like I get to teach these people how to make these businesses, like whether it's like a content business or creator business, and like I get to watch them do that. Like it's as an entrepreneur, it's pretty sick when it's like your product is helping other people make money, right? So anyway, that's what I think I'm most like proud about and excited about with this. So
Oh, dude, talk about super exciting. And dude,
And that's my whole game plan. My pitch is to make short form videos very cheap. If you've got AI to back it up and you're just punching in and clicking in buttons, then you can pitch yourself as the cheaper option with unlimited clips. And that's what I'm trying to pitch. My only qualm with myself is I need to get to work with scraping emails because I've been procrastinating with content like this instead of scraping emails because that's what I need to do.
I do that, dude. It's like I shut down my agency, my podcast agency, because it wasn't. I said on this podcast for years too. It was a stepping stone to stepping what I really love doing, and what I truly love doing is coaching, right? But I had my eye out the dog pound, and what me and my partner that we decided is like I do want to get back into the agency thing, but this time I'm only keeping it like 20 people max clients because I just want to keep it small, charge premium prices, and do a
yeah,
fucking bang up job because I
totally.
ran agencies with a lot of people and you got to really get those systems and shit dialed in. And when it gets so big, it's hard to really give a real custom, give your all into that one person. So, anyways, that's what we want to get into. And I do exactly what you're talking about, man. It's just you create the content using this Swell AI that makes it fucking me able to put so much more out there and better at that, get better results with the keywords, with all the automation.
So $500 a month isn't so much, but if you get like 10 clients, that's 5K. That's a lot of work. Then you can start hiring virtual assistants to help of with your work. But then the strategy behind this is that what more value can I add, or what other problems can I solve for people that want more, and then you just upsell them onto the next thing. So short form is just like a taste of what your offer is to something long term. And this is something that people need to understand. Business is very fluid. You need to keep reinventing and adjusting to your target audience, which if it's marketing, how are you giving them more value outside of short form? If you're using AI automation, that should help save you some time to figure out how to solve problems quicker and faster, and also provide more value on the back end.
That's able to take the time away from me actually having to do it. And then that brings in people like, dude, are you doing your own content? Yada, yada. And then that turns into, no, man, here's what I'm doing. Here's how I'm doing it. I show people
Exactly.
how I'm doing it in the mastermind. And then I got people like, yeah, that's cool, but I don't fucking want to do it. Can we just hire you guys to do it?
Dude, 100%.
But
100%. I
that's
mean,
the game right there.
there's this moment like the whole the market has just shifted with agency work, and A great example of this is the SEO space, right? So like I watched this company go out of business that's like they're legit. They're called Lemonade Media, right? And they like in 6 months basically all their clients left because they were doing a ton of content writing, like SEO content writing. I was like, from my understanding, like 60% of their monthly revenues, right? And they like basically lost their entire client base because they didn't adopt AI fast enough to like run the agency. And so
That's the biggest thing that I just mentioned. Like AI is going to disrupt a lot of workforces, and if you can integrate AI, mostly for automation, meaning that only getting 80% of the work done, you're still having to do 20%. The whole purpose, in my opinion, about how AI works is it just gives you more time to think and avoid doing the pencil pushing tasks. So if you can get AI automation to do the pencil pushing tasks, and all you need to do is like for, use your brain power for strategy and thinking, that's going to add way more value to yourself, and also how much value you can add to with your clients.
contrasting, there's this other company called Boring Marketing, and it is, I think the title on the homepage is like straight up just like it's like SEO marketing agency powered by AI, right? And they do all of their content writing powered by AI. They build all their SOPs off of these AI like workflows that they built. And that company, if, like what I heard through back channels is like it's going to do like $500,000 a month by the end of the year. It's like 9 months old, right? It's crazy. And so like, and the difference is that okay, if I, like in a traditional SEO agency, I go pay 30 grand to hire somebody, right? And for that same work, I can go hire like Boring Marketing for like 3 grand. And they basically can cut those costs down that traditionally they traditionally worked by 90%, and it's purely because that from the core foundational level they're building on top of these AI platforms that like assist them in that content production process. So anyway, yeah, we have a client. They charge a grand a month, right? And they like basically they do all the podcast editing, they write show notes, they write blog posts, they give you social media links, they do every asset generation. And like for them, it's like they have 20 clients, right? I mean, they're printing $250,000 a year. She has 2 VAs and her, right? And that's like her whole that's the whole business. And that's the opportunity that exists right now, like to build these agencies like you're talking about, that's like small that are really focused on the quality piece, but then employing these tools to do all that grunt labor that was it used to be that was 80% of the work. So you can just basically like augment that in an entirely different way. And we're seeing that just like every industry that can be touched, like that is happening right now in some way. Like these tools are basically just like just like they're shaking up the entire agency space, the old agency world, and these companies that are starting from the beginning, they're saying, hey, we're AI powered. They're just crushing it right now. So
The play here with AI, when you're just by yourself like me, you're giving them a cheaper option, plus you're doing it for free. But the thing is, you're wanting to sell to people that have money. People that don't have money, they're like, damn, free work, hell yeah. But the biggest part is to convince more established business owners that what you're providing actually makes sense. That's why providing free value is the play here.
Yeah, dude, without a doubt, man. And people, that's a big thing that the conversation going on is like, oh, will AI replace me? Like, no, it's not going to replace you. The people that are using AI are going to replace you.
100%, 100%. It makes
you
me
gotta get with it, man.
yeah, like you would take a 10x marketer and you give them AI, right? And they're a 100x marketer. And like it's the same thing with developers, right? Like I had this tweet that went viral like a couple months ago, and it was like basically like we just entered the age of like $10 million ARR, $10 million a year companies with 2 people, right? Like it's like a really good developer and a really good marketing growth person, and then they're just augmenting all of the like previous things like with AI. Like and we're seeing this where it's like, cool, I build a database of like how my product works, and then I can like have AI like when somebody asks a customer service question, it just goes to the database and it finds the relative information, and then it responds back to them like in a chatbot form. And like that's like everybody I know is building a version of that, right? And they're just like integrating.
You guys got one.
Yeah.
You guys got the dude. By the way, that is so dope that feature, right? And you guys got that with the chat with that Swell AI chat bot for the episode that you pop right into the show notes where people can ask.
Now that I'm hearing this, I need to sort out my landing page as well. I need to sort out my landing page
The bot anything
with a chatbot.
about the episode, and it spits out exactly the information, which is that's dope, dude. Like for people that don't want to like go through the whole thing or just want to see if it's worth the listen first, they can ask it any question and then engage it that way. It's a whole other way to engage with the content, man. How did you come up? What made you come up with that idea, or what were you thinking about whenever you
yeah. So just to reiterate, so it's an embeddable chatbot that's trained on the transcript of the episode, and so like, and really it came from like a customer. They were like, hey, we want a way for like our audience to be able to like interact with our content. So the first version we're like, hey, we'll build it for the just
That's one thing I am now doing. I'm chatting with the customers. So if you're still at zero, and I wish someone said it in a way for me to understand it, because a lot of people said it in a way for me to not understand it. It's a scary thing, but if you just jump on a call with a customer, you can pitch or you can not pitch. I feel like it would work better if you didn't pitch and ask them what their problems are. and they will tell you their problems. And if you can fix it, fix it. If you can't, don't fix it. And you go out back to your own world, see if you can actually learn how to fix it. If you can't, do not bother. But if you are getting heaps of sales calls or just market research calls, and they're coming up with the same problem over and over and over again, and if you can fix it, then you've got a business.
At an episode level, the long-term vision is we're going to have this for your entire back catalog. So imagine I'm a business coach.
So you can ask anything about the podcast.
Got
And
it.
it
Like
goes,
list, what are the 10 books that are most recommended?
On this
Find
show.
me episodes that talk about hiring offshore talent. Give me the core principles of like if I'm in a situation where I'm having XYZ HR problem, right? So I'm a business coach and I charge for access to me. This is a way for me to augment my time even further, where it's like, okay, cool.
And this is me now pitching to all you business coaches and consultants out there. If you've recorded every single recording of your client work, put a paywall there, charge them a fee to get them inside your library of work, and then have a chat box embedded in that. And all you need to do is like a frequently asked questions on steroids that would make your new clients just be like, what? How do I do this? How do they do that? And all they do is just the chatbot will feed them the information, the transcription, and the time lapse of when you answered that already. So the reason why I feel like this would work, because I myself am having this issue where I'm going through the whole entire feed in Discord, or sometimes when people use Reddit, but for me it's Discord, and trying to sift through the answers, or watching the whole entire episode, for example, of Joe Rogan, and I was like, where did Joe Rogan say this? If someone just had a website or landing page with episodes of a podcast with Joe, I'm just using Joe Rogan as an example because it's got 3,000 episodes, and just ask, in what episode did Joe Rogan talk about this? It'll just filter out those episodes and bang. And this is really important for coaches because I know you guys have heaps of recordings and heaps of people are asking the same question, and you're having to answer the same question over and over and over again. And if you had a chat box embedded, that would save you guys a lot of time.
Imagine I have like a page on my website. It's like a full page embed. And it's just this chatbot that's trained off of all of my previous podcast episodes, my fireside chats, everything. And I can just go and I can query it and be like, hey, I'm one of the people being coached by this person. I can go and be like, I'm having this situation go on. Like, what's the advice based off of this? And it's like, cool. Here's the advice, and here's 3 episodes and the timestamps that we specifically talk about those things, the sources of that advice, so that you can go back to that back catalog and like find that information, right? And so what I'm thinking about it, like just as like a market, like
Cody's just a gun when it comes to marketing and understanding what the customer wants. That's why I highly recommend you watch him, because if you just watch like 5 episodes from Cody, you're gonna have a better understanding of how marketing works, especially digital marketing.
just why I'm excited about it is like there's all this knowledge that's trapped right now, and like podcasts and YouTube videos, like it's in this audio video form. And what we're basically trying to do is like create this way that we can like surface that and make it accessible to these creators. Like I just think about like you as an example. You have an audience that's like rabid listeners. They love what you're doing, and they want they want a way to interact with you. Like imagine imagine you're a massive influencer too. Like you're one of these like
Millions
huge
of
YouTubers.
followers.
Yeah, this is this way that you can basically create like a character AI chatbot for them to interact with you and like in a totally different way. And like the first, what's hilarious is the first version of this, it started out with like these AI girlfriends and like that type of thing, right? But like now we're seeing it start to evolve into like, oh, here's this fashion influencer, and they made this like chatbot that is them, that's trained on everything that they've ever published or talked about or any public interviews, and it creates this way for you to create like connection with your audience in an entirely like in a deeper way, right? Like instead of like one to many, like it's like now it's one to one, almost in this conversational type of format, and that just changes the relationship entirely. And then
So this is where I'm focusing on making sure my prompts are good, because right now, if you just write a prompt on the free version of ChatGPT, it's just giving you generalized information. But if you have a source content, which is like, can you use this as an example, and copy the framework, but don't copy the content, and restructure in a way that is in my same tone style, my inflections, the way I talk, and spit out an answer instead of giving out a generalized answer. Because what I've been doing is I've just been asking basic questions. But if you set a parameter and restrictions to the chat box, it's going to give you way better answers.
we like extend that. So that's just like for the creator. Now imagine that for a brand. And I'm like, okay, I'm a brand, and like we do, we do skincare or whatever, right? And we interview all these skincare like experts, and then like here's this chatbot that people can like interact with all these skincare experts that normally they could never talk to. I'm working with this company right now, and they're doing this in the women's health space. And so they're basically like recording all these episodes that are related to like women's health, and just like having experts on to talk about the thing that they're experts at. All of that. We're just gonna make this public chatbot that like any woman that's having women's health.
So you pretty much get the point. If you're starting from zero, marketing is where you want to be going. And marketing comes either through digital marketing by making content, doing cold outreach, which is more transactional, but you can get to people more quicker. For me, I'm doing a bit of both because content is more of a long-term play. Outreach is more quick, trying to get cash flow because cash flow is pretty important. So ultimately, if you guys are doing short form, pretty easy to get into, but it's a red hot market. So you have to differentiate yourself by saving them more time or getting them more money. So that's how you restructure your offer. Make content like this because content is a grind. If you can do it every single day, then you're not up against much people. You're up against me. And look, I'm just doing basic videos like these. But the fact that you're posting videos every single day, I bet you're beating 85 to 90% of people who are doing content production, especially if you're at the start. You have to do way more work. This is from Alex Hormozy. Volume negates luck. And if volume isn't quality yet, you're still winning. Okay? So the gameplay for me is marketing first and then figure out AI second on top of that. And then the ultimate thing is learning how to do no code. So that's why in my previous video, you saw Peter Fang about how to do no code. So that's my ultimate play. Content, marketing, AI automation, get some cash flow. Once you have some cash flow, start learning AI automation. I still have no time. So that has to be on the back burner, but that's the play. Marketing, build an audience, sell to the audience with no code SaaS products or automation because that's what people want right now. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys next time. If you made it this far, comment podcast as well, just so I know that YouTube's going to help with the algorithm. And also, if you made it this far, if you're a coach, consultant, CEO, or founder and want me to help you chop up short form and also help you with your long form game with podcast type interviews like this, shoot me a message. I'd love to help you build some relationships because if you truly believe that podcast is where your customer is consuming information, you're leaving a lot of money on the table if you're not doing podcasts yet. So shoot me a message and let's see if we can help each other out. I'll see you guys in the next episode.